that you ask, is that we know, okay, that when the Jews were enslaved in Egypt, no Jew could escape Egypt. No slave ever escaped. Okay, and when a slave made an attempt to escape, all the dogs of Egypt would bark, woof, 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 okay? So then we're also told that on the night that God redeemed the nation of Israel and took them out of Egypt, out of mental slavery, took them out and gave them the truth, okay? On that night when they left Egypt, no dogs barked. No dogs barked when we were finally able to break out of this mental slavery of the reality that we were living then. God broke us out of that mental slavery and no dogs barked. Okay, fast forward to 5,784, when now we can see around us a lot of people are mentally enslaved. Okay, we're hearing lots of words like sheeple. The sheeple just follow the government. The sheeple, believe all the false flags. The sheep, okay, so we're in the matrix. Okay, we've also heard that term. It's like, and then now people who are enslaved, mentally enslaved in the matrix, become the agent Smiths of the matrix. Right? If you don't understand this analogy, then if you are brainwashed, then you start defending the system. That's what that means. Okay, it's because you're brainwashed. You are being told how to look at reality. Reality looks this way. This is a war because of that. That is a fire because of climate change. This is the New World Order is a good thing. Satanism is good. October 7th, the IDF failed. Whatever. Okay, that's the Mockingbird journalism. Okay, and you need to know. These are just things that you could research about the CIA and the Mossad and all those things and the New World Order and all of that stuff. Agenda 2030. That the state of Israel is one of the 19 centers for the fourth industrial revolution. That's on the West webpage. Okay, so the state of Israel, run by the Erev Rav, it's here in the land of Israel, not the kingdom of David, not the temple, not the Torah laws. Okay, other people leading the nation of Israel. Okay, making you impure in some way, definitely affecting your reality and affecting how you are interacting with your reality. You're trusting the science. You're getting the vaccine to help you. Okay? You're not thinking for yourself. You're not asking those questions, and you're not being willing, I guess, maybe, to go through cognitive dissonance. What does that mean? What does it mean if the real purpose of the vaccines was to harm you? Can you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth? So like I said, when we came out of Egypt, none of the dogs barked. We left mental slavery. However, now, at the end of time, the face of the generation is the face of a dog. Okay, anytime you start to ask some questions, because there's some serious situations going on, you really want to know the truth, then all of the people come out and bark. You're stupid. You don't know anything. Everybody accepts Chabad. Everyone's fine. We've decided he's the Mashiach. Our Rebbe is the Mashiach. You can't ask any questions. We are going to make sure the Chabad is going to make sure that everybody gets vaccinated. They're going to shut down the mikvehs. They're going to meet with the politicians. They're going to pray mincha in front of a Christmas tree in the White House. They're going to go and put tefillin on everybody, which is very holy. They're going to just go randomly stick them on anyone without a bracha, without a prayer, without being doing some things to make you more pure, like netilat yadayim, washing your hands. Okay, and that's fine with everybody. No one's going to ask any questions about that. No one's going to say like, hey, there are 3 meals. Okay, so I'm just going to put it this way. What I'm saying is what I think, that at the end of time, okay, when they say that the face of the generation is going to be the face of the dog, it's because of this. Because you don't want you coming out of mental slavery. Okay, you want to go along with everybody accepts those very long wigs that Chabad said are fine. The long wigs. That's extremely immodest. Okay, we're not getting more holy by wearing dead hair, which the majority of that hair, if you really want to ask those questions, comes from India. Okay, and yes, this was investigated a while ago, and now they made the changes. Now they're really kosher wigs. Okay, that's a gamble you're willing to take. Fine, but I'm allowed to ask questions about that. I'm allowed to say to you, hey, lady, but are you sure that you're not covering your hair with a wig because you look better? Are you sure it's not just for vanity or to fit in or to whatever? Like, just ask yourself those questions. But you're not even allowed to ask that question. How dare I? How dare I suggest to you, my sister, that I love, part of the nation of Israel, that God loves, that God commanded me to love? How dare I ask you that? Are you sure that it's not just because you're being vain? Because I also had to sacrifice my ego and my vanity in order to get more holy so I could get close to God, because that's one of the goals in my life, is to understand this spiritual information more, to actually live in my reality and try to understand what's going on, to try to say, if there's a time element here and I'm going to die for sure at some point, don't know how, don't know when, then if there's something that happens to me after that, and there's some information on that, and some of the smartest minds in all of history have written books on that, and I'm able to obtain those books, and I'm able to learn from other rabbis, from rabbis and whatever who have understood that information and explain it to me, like, Baruch Hashem, thank God, that's what I'm going to do. But if you're going to come and bark at me, you're so stupid for asking what happened to the cherem, what happened to the excommunication that the Gaon from Vilna, who, like I said, was one of the smartest people ever, who explained a lot of things to us. Now, one of the things he's famously quoted as saying when his sister came to, so he would always study Torah. He actually kept a little notebook of how much time he was not dedicated to the Torah, an accounting of all his time spent on, walking from here to there or whatever, I don't know, whatever. And so he was very meticulous about this time and about the spiritual reality and physical, whatever. He was living the Torah. He was a genius. And in Pirkei Avot, the wisdom of our fathers, they say, who is smart? Somebody who can see the molad, something that's coming up in the future, okay? Different than a prophet, but just someone who's smart, who can see kind of like what's going on, has a firm grasp of reality, understands the Torah a lot, and can see kind of like what the outcomes are going to be, okay? So the genius of Vilna, he was smart because he was a genius, like really a genius, okay? So he fits the definition of what our Pirkei Avot say, that he could see the outcomes, okay? Because he was a genius. He wasn't just smart. He was a genius, okay? So what does that mean? That I'm sure when he put these guys and their information, their book, the Tanya, when he excommunicated them times 3, okay? So it wasn't enough for him. And the Gaon from Vilna just doesn't randomly slap tons of people down in Cherem. This was serious. And he did it 3 times just to make sure that the idiots of this generation, okay, me included, because we're not at the same level. We could be brilliant and whatever, but we're so low spiritually that would render us basically idiots, okay? Sorry to say it that way, but that's how I feel sometimes, because we're not willing to go to the extent, for the most part, that these people were before us and generations before us. Whatever, for whatever reason. So anyway, but he wanted to tell us, okay, the last generation, to beware. So no one canceled that, okay? So please, and people say, like I said, some people who comment on my videos and they're like, yeah, well, one of his students canceled the cherem. Well, a student can't cancel the master's cherem. A student can't change what the master did, okay? Because the master teaches the student, and it's generally, unless there's like certain, other conditions that are met, okay? But that cherem was not canceled, okay? That's number 1. So that's a question, okay? What happened to the cherem against Chabad, okay? And why is this even necessary? Because some of their things are not the same. The Torah never changed, okay? There's no need for another book. There's no need for the Tanya, which contains some more interesting spiritual information. You don't have to purify yourself to learn it. Anyone can learn it. Men and women together can go and learn on a, Thursday afternoon. I don't know, whatever, okay? You don't have to be pure to learn this, okay? You don't have to be an Orthodox Jew to learn the Tanya. And they won't help you become an Orthodox Jew, really, because it's okay if you desecrate the Sabbath, okay? Which means if you don't keep the Shabbat, that's a karet. That's something that cuts your soul off from the nation of Israel. So when this nation of Israel gets redeemed, you have to ask yourself if you're a part of that. Is your soul attached to the nation of Israel? Because there's certain things that happen that make you so unholy, okay, that it's just a matter you can't resonate with this. So when reality changes at the redemption, okay, it's going to be like you don't have the right height to get on that ride. And it's not because of anything. You're not a bad person. You're a good person, okay? But there's certain things that you have to do in order to be the right height, so to speak, okay? So now, like I said, there's holy and there's unholy. Holy and unholy. Anything that's not holy, which is just what's in the Torah. The Torah doesn't need to change. Nothing needs really to change, except for whenever the rabbis did certain things, okay? And we have to understand what that means. But nothing changed. Okay, so it's not a sect, just like every other religion, and I've heard this recently too, like, ask me, I'm a Jim. Okay, why do some Jews look like this and some Jews look like that? Well, because there's all different kinds of levels of observance to Judaism. Yeah, that's our reality. That's not the answer. That's not the truth. The truth is that we've gotten away from the truth, and so therefore we're all somewhere on this continuum of holiness and unholiness, and purity and impurity. So what the nation of Israel wants to see happen is for all the Jews to just become more holy and learn the Torah and do these things, okay? Not say it's fine that you don't do those things. It's fine if you drive to Shul for Shabbat. It's fine. Just park around the corner. Okay? And again, these are very nice people. They're so very nice people doing a lot of good for the community. And I believe that 99% of the people here in Chabad are doing what they truly believe. I mean, but that's the thing about belief, is that that's why God tells us, don't believe. Question, always learn, always test, always put yourself to the test, put your belief system to the test. Questions. But don't prevent people from asking these questions, Chabad. Barking.